Hey guys, welcome to my channel Fancy Gamers 101. So today we are going to explore Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 and learn how to fly Cessna 172 Classic. This will be a non-G1000 version, and we will be actually learn how to fly Cessna 172 using all the default ATC and checklist which is provided in-game. So nothing need to be fancy, nothing need to be actually checked to other checklists. This will be simple. So this is the first layout, or the first actually the main home screen. So let's go to the world map. We already selected our aircraft. This will be Cessna 172. If you go on your aircraft selection, you will have again two versions, maybe G1000, and then this is the classic version. I choose a red and black livery. I think this looks cool. I will be flying from Manchester, again Manchester, New Hampshire, not Manchester in the UK. And let's choose ramp 136 as our parking spot, and we will be flying to Portsmouth. This will be a 14-minute flight. 14-minute, I'm saying, is it 14 minutes? It's actually 28 nautical miles distance, 14-minute flight. And we will be doing an IFR flight, low altitude airways. So how I like to do is, I actually, by default, it always actually give you which runway you want it to go through. I think depending on where I park, I will go, I will choose as a direct, but this runway 17, this will be perfect. Approach, we will select also. Let's see what the ATC will give us, and we will fly actually in a little bit of daytime. So instead of night, let's call 3 o'clock in the evening. Perfect. All right, with live traffic, multiplayer is off, and presets are, we have scattered clouds. All right, everything looks good. Manchester, Portsmouth, Cessna 172 Classic, IFR. Let's hit fly. All right, so looks like we are in Manchester Airport. The red and black actually livery looks pretty good. MS2121. Looks pretty nice. We are parked at the fuel station. Alright, let's get it a try. Ready to fly. And we can close the fuel selection area. Since we are actually parked in front of the fuel box, the fuel menu will come up automatically. Alright, so this is our cockpit. And I always love the interior of Cessna 172 Classic. Alright, first thing first, let's go to our checklist. And let's go one by one. Aircraft documents, check. Parking brake checked. Parking brake is bottom. Parking brake set, check. Ignition off. Let's put this over here. Ignition is off, check. Avionics 1 and 2 are off. Avionics 1 and 2 are off. Let's actually, so everybody can see it also where they are. Avionics 1 and 2 are off, check. Battery switch is on. Battery switch is on. Check. Fuel quantity indicators looks like balanced, so check. Okay, low fuel left and right annunciators off. Yes, it is off. Avionics 1 and 2 needs to be on. Turn on. Avionics are on, check. Avionics cooling fan audible. I think that is just audible. We won't see any indication. Avionics switch 1 and 2 off, so we can turn these off now. Static pressure alternator source valve, which is right here, it needs to be off. It is off. need to adjust my camera. So it is off also. Annunciator panel test. Annunciator panel is right here. We can test it, making sure all the lights are turning on. Check. Okay, fuel selector is both, right in the center. Check. Fuel shutoff valve open. Fuel shutoff valve is now it's open. Check. Flaps down. Flaps needs to be down. So flaps are all the way down. Check. Pilot heat on. Pilot heat is right over here. On. Pilot heat is on. Check working. Pilot heat off. Battery switch off. Elevated frame neutral. Elevated frame is neutral / takeoff. That's as it is right now, so that's perfect. I can actually match it to the line right here. There you go. Alright, before starting engine checklist complete. Now is actually pre-flight inspection complete. Now before starting engine. Pre-flight inspection complete. Check yes. Seatbelts adjust and lock. Check. Electrical equipment off. Everything looks off. Check. Avionics off. Check. Fuel selector both. Check. Fuel shutoff valve open. Open. Check. Alright, moving on to starting engine. Throttle needs to be 1 second. Alright, throttle needs to be 1/4 inch. I'll give it 10 right over here. 10%. Okay, mixture. Make sure throttle is check. Mixture is idle cutoff. Make sure it's idle cutoff. Check. Propeller area clear, so we're gonna say clear even though the doors cannot open. Check. Battery switch on. Battery switch is on. Check. Beacon on. Beacon light on. Check. Mixture rich. Mixture full forward rich. Check. Auxiliary fuel pump, which is right here, needs to be on for 3 to 5 seconds, then off. Okay. Check. Mixture lean. Lean the mixture up till 70%. Actually 60. Mixture lean. Feet ready to brake. Yep, we have it. Ignition start. Alright, so we already have the parking brake on, so ignition is right there. The key. Give it a start. Oh, okay. Okay. Make sure rich when engine starts. Make sure rich when engine starts. Check. And we have starting engine complete. Okay, after starting engine. Throttle adjust to 1000 RPM. It's already at 1000 RPM. Throttle is perfect. That is 10% of throttle. It will give you 1000 RPM. That's good. Oil pressure. Oil pressure needle is right here, so it's good. Alternator on. Alternator is on. Check. Alternator indicator off. Alternator indicator is off from their volts. Check. Ammeter. Check. Avionics 1 and 2 needs to be on. Avionics 1 and 2 are these switches. They need to be on. Okay. Check. Radios. Radios needs to be on. Now radios are for me. I say COM1, COM2. They already are set. We already have turn COM1 receiver on, so that's good. Transponder is right there. It needs to be on, so we can say check. Transponder needs to be on standby. It is on standby right now. Check. Flaps up. Flaps. Let's adjust them all the way up. Check. Heading indicator. Set. Heading indicator. We can set the heading indicator by pressing the D button, and it synced up the heading indicator. So we're all set. You can actually make it center also. There you go, a little bit off, but that's fine. Alright, altimeter. Altimeter looks good also. You can sync the altimeter by pressing the B button, and it's good. Altimeter is set. Attitude indicator. Attitude indicator is good, set, and everything looks good. Alright, now getting ready for taxi. Now we won't do the taxi checklist as of yet because we did not get any taxi instructions. So let's call the ATC and ask them. So tune into Manchester clearance. First of all, let's get Manchester ATIS information. We have wind 286 at 8, visibility 6, sky condition 800 feet, scattered 4500 feet, scattered temperature, dew point, altimeter 2992. That is important. We need that information, 2992. So we can actually go to altimeter and say 2992. It's there. ILS runway 17 in use, landing and departing runway 17. So perfect. That is actually the runway we will be using as well. All aircraft hold short instructions. So we have the altimeter in, information, so that is great. Now let's talk to Manchester clearance. Tune to Manchester clearance and request an IFR clearance. Manchester clearance delivery, Cessna 1 MS2121 IFR to Pease, ready to copy. Is clear to Pease Airport and take off runway 17, climb and maintain 3000, departure frequency 124.9, squawk 0204. Alright, so what we need to do is we have to read back when the readback information is there. So we read back all that information, but we need to actually put that information. The squawk information goes to our transponder right here, and we will set that up. So let's do that. Let's set that up to squawk 0204. It's already actually set up already. So the only thing is we need to make sure our transponder is set to on. Transponder is set to on. Readback is correct. They're saying contact ground on 121.9 when ready to taxi. Or we do that when we are ready. We are not ready yet. Maintain 3000. That's what they're saying. So what we need to do is we need to go to our autopilot section right over here, and we will set that we need our cruising altitude of 3000. Perfect. That's what we need. And yeah, 3000. All right. What else? Are we missing anything? Takeoff runway 17, they're saying, and they say ready to contact. All right. One more thing is that you need to make sure CDI change to GPS mode on both sides. I'm using the top 530 version, 530 Garmin. So as you can see, the flight plan is already entered, Manchester to Portsmouth direct, and we are all set there. All right, let's contact ground. to get some taxi clearance. Tune to Manchester ground. Cessna 121, tune to Manchester ground, request taxi IFR. That's what we need. Alright, Manchester ground, Cessna MS2121 with whiskey ready to taxi IFR. Cessna MS212 taxi and hold short to runway 17 where taxi crossway runway 24, contact tower on 121.3 when ready. Okay. Okay, we acknowledge that instruction. So taxiing, holding short to runway 17, taxi way across runway 24, Cessna 121. Alright, so before further proceeding with the ATC, let's close that and let's do our checklist for the taxi. Taxi light required, so let's do that. Taxi lights are on. Landing lights, we don't need to turn them on right now. Navigation lights on. Strobe lights, we don't turn them on unless we are on the runway. Navigation lights on, so I'm just gonna take these things. Parking brake release, we will release it when we are ready. Brakes test, rudders, turn, coordinator check working, heading indicator, compass, we already saw that they are all set. So we are actually ready. Parking brake set, pilot and passengers, fuel quantity, mixture need to be raised. You don't need to recheck these. You can. These are checking the magnetos and everything. Again, we should be all set now for our taxi. So what we need to do is close that off right now, making sure taxi lights are on, navigation light on. We have beacon on for now. All right, make the yoke visible again. Click on the VFR map, zoom in. So I have the Manchester airport chart also printed out. So as per the ATC, they mentioned to us that taxiing hold short runway 17. So 17 is our runway, and according to where we are, we will be crossing runway 24. Perfect. So technically we will be crossing it doesn't actually tells you that which rampway you are following, so it should be fine. I'm not sure if I have the arrows on, but let's see. So let's close that, have this actually visible so I can see. Hit shift and P for the pushback. Parking brakes released. I'm gonna go outside, and my aircraft is pushing back right now. Both sides are cleared. So it's actually a very good thing that if you press the shift and P, even though you do not have the pushback cart near you, you can still have your aircraft push back. Alright, hit shift and P again, it will stop from the pushback. Hit the end key on the keyboard, you're back in the cockpit view. Alright, so now we are all set. We're on the pilot seat. Now I am just going to increase just a little bit of my throttle. My parking brakes are already off. There is no parking brake. Increase the speed just a little. Alright, we will be turning left. There's an aircraft that is, I think, landing right now. Alright, so we will be crossing runway 24. We have clearance for that, but we will be holding short Right now we are crossing runway 24 and we will be holding short for runway 17. So keep going straight. Okay, so let's hit the parking brakes and let's tune to oh, we were not actually doing reaching back. Taxi for takeoff options. Let's do that. We will say I'm sorry, let me actually do that. Otherwise, I have the ATC voice turned down. And that's why they were reaching me. And I was totally ignoring them. That's why they canceled my IFR. So let's tell them that we will be actually departing 17, right? So we will be departing according to the compass. 7 will be departing to the south, I believe. Yes, I think so. Let's go south and then actually no, depart west. We will be on the west side. So
Manchester ground
there
Cessna
you go.
Mike Sierra 2121 request taxi for west departure with whiskey.
Cessna Mike Sierra 2121 taxi to and hold short of runway 17 via taxiway. Contact tower on 121 decimal tree when ready.
All right. Acknowledge taxi clearance.
Taxi to and hold short runway 17
Let's
via
contact
taxiway Cessna 121.
Manchester Tower. Request takeoff clearance, VFR from Manchester Tower. Now before doing that, I want to make sure I'm all set. So we will turn off our taxi lights, landing lights needs to be on, and the strobe light needs to be on. Otherwise, I am all set. ATC.
Manchester Tower Cessna Mike Sierra 2121 at runway 17 ready for takeoff departure to the west.
Cessna Mike Sierra 2121 cleared for takeoff runway 17.
Alright, we're clear. Parking brakes off.
Cleared for takeoff runway 17 Cessna 121.
Alright. Just a little bit of speed, not too much. Probably I think I am like what, 1100 right now RPM. Alright, lining up for the runway. We already got clearance. Okay, now increasing the speed. Normally I go for 2000 RPMs. This will give me like a almost smooth takeoff. Let's see. And then we'll do full throttle. Okay, rotate. Nice. Full throttle. We have departed from Manchester.
Cessna 121 121, continue for west departure. I will contact you next when you leave my airspace.
Alright, at this point, what we will do is we will turn on the, actually,
Cessna 121, did you hear my last transmission?
and I forgot to read them back.
Manchester Tower, Cessna Mike Sierra 2121, continue for west departure.
Nav on. Alright. Actually, we are doing east. I gave them a little wrong information right there, but we should be fine. Request touch and go, request full stop landing, but we should be actually just going to Portsmouth. So we're following that. Right now, what I did actually right over here is that I turn on the autopilot, and right now it's following our GPS route, Manchester to Portsmouth, and I have it set to reach to 3,000 feet, and my vertical speed or vertical climb is 500 feet per minute, and that's it. Yeah, everything looks good at this point. Landing lights can turn off, navigation light, strobe light, beacon are on only. Alright, I would like to actually, not right now, I can lean the mixture, but I should be fine. I will lean the mixture at 3,000. For now, it's okay. Let's actually enjoy the showcase view. Alright, if you look at our VFR map also, it's going to follow that magenta line. We should be fine.
Cessna 121, you are leaving my airspace. Frequency change approved.
Frequency change approved.
Manchester Tower, Cessna Mike Sierra 2121, frequency change.
Tune into Boston approach. We are doing the IFR clearance for instrument flight plan.
Boston approach, Cessna Mike Sierra 2121, 5 miles east of Manchester. Request IFR to Pease, ready to copy.
Cessna Mike Sierra 2121 is cleared to Pease Airport as filed. Squawk 0204.
Again, we don't need to do that, but I actually was not responding them. That's why they canceled my IFR, so that's why we're doing it in
Mike
the air.
Sierra 2121 cleared to Pease Airport as filed. Squawk 0204.
Cessna 121 readback correct. Radar contact 2,600 feet. Altimeter
Okay.
29.92, turn right heading 090, resume on navigation climb and maintain 11,000 feet.
11,000 we are got.
Turn right heading 090, resume on navigation climb and maintain 11,000 feet. Cessna 121.
Cessna 121 contact Boston departure on 124.9er.
All right,
124.9er for Cessna 121.
I will stay at 3,000. There's no need to go to 11,000.
Boston departure, Cessna Mike Sierra 2121 is at 2,900 feet, climbing 11,000 feet.
Cessna Mike Sierra 2121 Boston departure continue as planned. Altimeter 29.92,
Altimeter is already 29.902. Cruising altitude decrease by probably 5,000.
Boston departure Cessna 121. Request 8,000 feet.
Cessna 121 climb and maintain 8,000 feet.
That's actually request acknowledge.
Climb and maintain 8,000 feet Cessna 121.
Request altitude decrease also for another 4,000.
Boston departure Cessna 121. Request 4,000 feet.
Cessna 121 climb and maintain 4,000 feet.
Alright, climb and maintain 4,000.
Climb and maintain 4,000 feet Cessna 121.
Little hazy out there. 20 nautical miles left. I will get it decreased by 1,000, so we are perfect for 3,000.
Request 3,000 feet.
Cessna 121 climb and maintain 3,000 feet.
Perfect. Climb and maintain 3,000.
Climb and maintain 3,000 feet Cessna 121.
Alright. We are good for now. We are at 3,000. What I can do is I will love to decrease my throttle to almost 70% and then lean the mixture. Mostly it goes to 60. A little bit. 60 is good. Perfect. So we have the mixture leaned. And throttle can be full. Alright, let's see what kind of actually request vectors to next waypoint. Let's see what they give us.
Boston departure Cessna Mike Sierra 2121 requesting vector to next waypoint.
Cessna 121 turn right heading 090, resume home navigation.
090, we are going 090 almost. So let's actually do that. Compass is synced, so 090 is
Cessna 121, did you hear my last transmission?
Turn
yes, we
right
did.
heading 090, proceed on course Cessna 121.
You can go heading 090.
Cessna 121, you are 15 miles west. Climb and maintain 13,000 feet. Expect ILS runway tree 4 approach via EDATE transition. Clear to EDATE.
Clear to indeed.
Cessna 121, you are 15 miles west of Pease. Contact tower on 128.4 when inbound.
Tower on 128.4 Cessna 121. Tower Cessna Mike Sierra 2121 4 miles west inbound ILS runway tree 4 approach.
Cessna Mike Sierra 2121 tower. Cleared ILS runway tree 4 approach. Altimeter 29.92 wind 286 at 8.
ILS 34. Alright, so now I need to now I need to make sure is that ILS 34 from Indeed. Okay, it needs to be there. So what I will do is I'll go to my flight plan and enter Indeed because we are cleared for that.
Cessna 121 acknowledge last transmission.
1 second, ma'am. There we go.
Cleared ILS runway
ID.
tree 4 approach Cessna 121.
Nope, not that one. ID. edit, enter. That's perfect. Click on nav mode. And it should start over 20. Edit is actually right over there. The only thing is that with this aircraft is, I wonder. Oh, okay. No, direct to edit right now. So we can click on this direct to button. Have direct to. Enter. All right, now it will go. Perfect. All right, it will go to edit now. For edit, we need to be at 3000. We are at 3000. And then after that, flight plan, we will go to Yonks, YOKNZ. So let's type that. The default ATC of the MSF2020, actually sometimes they tell you the transition a little late. By the time they're telling, you should be already, it's hard to actually enter that information as fast. So Yonks is after that, but again, we will be going to, nope, follow the deed. Enter that. Yep, follow edit and then Yonks. Perfect. We are on nav mode, so it should be good. At this point, actually, we are at perfect altitude. We do need to enter the localizer 110.1. So let's do that. 110.1. Activate that, and we are all set. What a nice view. As there's a this one. That's my favorite view, when the sunlight actually strikes on the instruments. There you go. Perfect. Going fine right now. We have a couple of options. We don't need any of those. We already got the altimeter for Portsmouth 29902, and that is actually what we have. So doesn't need to even change or tune in to ARIS information at Portsmouth to get that information. We should be fine. After edit, we go to Yonks, and for Yonks, we need to be at 1700 to intercept the localizer. So we can actually set up that way ahead. 1700. So as soon as when the time comes, I will start it to descend. Let's take a look actually on the co-pilot section. Have actually the chart open as well on the side. Alright, so we are only 1 nautical miles away from our first waypoint. And right after that, it will start it to go to Yongs. Perfect, and I should actually gonna have it at 42%. Make sure full forward since we're descending. Now getting ready for our landing. So we should have, at this point, I have the visuals for the runway right in front of me. You can see that it's way over there, shining. Alright, let's see. We need to be at 1700. We are having a descent of 500 feet per minute. And the navigation flight plan is actually the navigation mode. It says following the flight plan. We have this VOR radial right now, this compass that is actually telling me how high and how much I'm aligned to the runway. Right now it's telling me that I need to be more, a little bit more altitude. But as soon as we are actually gonna go near and near and trying to intercept the localizer at 1700 for Young's waypoint, it will be nice and well balanced. It should be just like a cross in the middle, and that should be the best configuration. So we are right now at 100. What I will do is I will actually trying to have it the throttle more, less. So I should be actually at 80 or somewhere in that white arc to deploy my first set of flaps. So right at this point here, I'll have my first flaps, and I'll increase a little bit of the throttle, because otherwise the airspeed will go way down. Let's keep it at 80. Let's keep it there, 33%. So our flaps are at 10 degree. And since we are still descending, we haven't reached 1700. Getting closer to that. Runway looks nice. And increase the throttle. Let's do 53 and stay there. Right now the speed is 75 knots. And as you can see, the bar is right now coming closer, or it should be right in the center, and that should be the best configuration for landing. It means that I'm aligned. Tappy light's looking good also so far. I see some whites and some reds, so that's a good sign. So we need 2 whites and 2 reds. All right. We are almost crossing Yongs at 1700, and after that I will take off the autopilot. Alright, now we're directly going for the... I took off the autopilot. Have the second set of flaps. Decrease the throttle.
Cessna 121 cleared to land runway tree 4. Wind 286 at 8.
Acknowledged.
Cleared to land runway tree 4 Cessna 121.
Alright. Make sure these both the VR and on the VOR radial, these should be the configuration of the lines. That's perfect. I do feel some wind on from the left side, so I'm turning my aircraft so I should be more aligned. Go. We haven't set actually the full flaps yet. We are 20-degree flaps. Mixture full. At this point we are at 1000, so landing lights are on. Alright, at this point I believe I am almost 2 nautical miles away from the runway. Perfect. I will have full set of flaps. Definitely that will actually going to reduce a lot of airspeed. But our configuration or the VR radial looks perfect. 2 white, 2 red PAPI lights. I will continue. Actually not gonna adjust any throttle at this point. And as soon as we're gonna get closer. Increase the airspeed a little bit, just a little bit. Increase the speed or the throttle. Nicely touched down using the rudders.
Cessna 121 exit runway when able.
Brake. Exit runway when able. Okay, perfect. Yes, we will. Alright, that was a good actually touchdown right there. We will have our taxi lights on. Strobe is already on. What I need to do is at this point have to see. Alright, so there is actually an exit coming up on our right, so that's perfect.
Cessna 121 turn next taxiway.
Yes, please, we will doing that. There you go, I saw that.
Cessna 121 contact ground on 120.905.
Alright, we'll be contacting ground.
120.905 Cessna 121. Ground Cessna Mike Sierra 2121 taxi to the gate.
Cessna Mike Sierra 2121 taxi to gate 86 using taxiway Alpha.
Okay, let's acknowledge that.
Taxiing to gate 86 using taxiway Alpha Cessna 121.
Alright, at this point, I can actually park right here, and we should be all set. Okay, parking brakes engaged. Alright, let's turn off the aircraft properly. Throttle is 0. Make sure cut off. All the lights needs to be off actually, but before the engine beacon light is still on. We have our avionics off, alternator off, battery off, beacon off. Now fuel you can leave it at both, and there we go. We completed one flight. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was a little bit of educational also. If you need any help regarding Cessna 172 Classic with MSF2020 navigation wise, the Garmin GPS, you know, in that way also, any kind of help, I will try to provide as much information as I know. And I hope you enjoyed the video. All right, I'll try to make some more aircraft videos. Again, my knowledge is with other aircrafts and experience is not as vast. But I think I'm good with Cessna, so that's why I wanted to cover it. All right, guys, see you in the next video. I hope you enjoyed it, and take care and stay safe.